In the next problem, Kp for the reaction is not given. The total pressure at equilibrium is given, which is equal to 30 atmospheres. Now this is the decomposition of ammonium hydrogen sulfide. This salt decomposed into ammonia gas and H2S gas. And the total pressure is equal to 30 atmospheres. Calculate Kp for this dynamic equilibrium. Now the formula to calculate equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressures is the product of partial pressure of ammonia gas into the partial pressure of H2S gas. H2S gas. For solids, active mass is constant. Now from this, the partial pressure of any gas is equal to total pressure into its mole fraction. Therefore, the partial pressure of ammonia gas is equal to total pressure. Here total pressure is 30 atmosphere into mole fraction. In this dynamic equilibrium, this gas number of moles is equal to 1 and hydrogen sulfide gas number of moles also equal to 1. So number of moles divided by total number of moles. Total number of moles is equal to 2. So the partial pressure of ammonia gas is equal to 15 atmospheres. Very important formula according to Dalton's law of partial pressures is partial pressure of any gas is equal to total pressure into its mole fraction. In this dynamic equilibrium, the number of moles of ammonia gas and the number of moles of H2S gas is equal to 1 mole. So 1 divided by 2. Similarly, partial pressure of H2S gas is equal to 30 into 1 by 2. That is equal to 15 atmospheres. So therefore, the Kp equilibrium constant in terms of pressure is equal to partial pressure of ammonia gas 15 into partial pressure of H2S gas. It is also equal to 15. Therefore, Kp is equal to 225 atmosphere square. Because the unit of Kp is equal to bar to the power delta n or atmosphere to the power delta n. Here delta n is equal to 2 minus 0, that is equal to 2. So Kp is equal to equilibrium constant in terms of pressure is equal to 225 atmosphere square. In this problem, A to B dynamic equilibrium, Kc value is 2. That means in the first case, active mass of B divided by active mass of A is equal to 2. In the second dynamic equilibrium, active mass of C divided by active mass of B is equal to 4. For the third dynamic equilibrium, active mass of D divided by active mass of C is equal to 6. So, for the first dynamic equilibrium, active mass of B divided by active mass of A into active mass of C divided by active mass of B into active mass of D divided by active mass of C is equal to, these two are cancelled together, C and C. So this is nothing but active mass of D divided by active mass of A. So this is equal to 2 into 4 into 6. Therefore, for this change, A to D change, Kc is equal to 48. So for the first dynamic equilibrium, products by active reactants active mass is equal to 2. And for the second dynamic equilibrium, active mass of C divided by active mass of B is equal to 4. For the third dynamic equilibrium, C to D change, active mass of D divided by active mass of C is equal to 6. Now the product of these three is nothing but A to D change. That means active mass of D divided by active mass of A. So that ratio is nothing but Kc for this A to D change. Therefore, Kc for A to D change is equal to 2 into 4 into 6, that is equal to 48. Now in this problem, in the formation of ammonia, when nitrogen gas combines with 3 moles of hydrogen gas, it is in dynamic equilibrium with 2 moles of ammonia gas. Here in this problem, at initial conditions, the number of moles of nitrogen gas taken in the closed vessel is equal to 1 mole, and the number of moles of hydrogen gas taken is equal to 3 mole. So this is 0 mole initially. After that, at equilibrium stage, the number of moles of nitrogen gas at equilibrium conditions, the number of moles of nitrogen gas is equal to 0.6 mole. Now calculate the total number of moles of all the gases present in the closed vessel at equilibrium conditions. Remember that. From this, the number of moles of nitrogen gas involved in this dynamic equilibrium is 0.4 moles. 0.4 moles. Nitrogen gas, moles of nitrogen gas is involved in this dynamic equilibrium process, because after the equilibrium, that means at equilibrium stage, the remaining number of moles of nitrogen gas is equal to 0.6, indicate 1 minus 0.4 is equal to, that means 1 minus 0.6 is equal to 0.4 mole. That means 0.4 moles of nitrogen gas is involved in this reaction. So the number of moles of ammonia gas formed is 1:2 ratio. For 1 mole, 2 moles of ammonia gas will be formed. For 0.4 mole, the number of moles of ammonia gas formed is equal to 0.8 mole. 1:2 ratio. Originally, 1 mole of nitrogen gas produce 2 moles of ammonia. But in this problem, number of moles of nitrogen gas involved in this reaction is 0.4 mole, because at equilibrium the remaining number of moles of nitrogen gas is 0.6. That's why involved in this reaction is equal to 1 minus 0.6. Now here, by comparing these two, originally 1 mole nitrogen gas combines with 3 moles hydrogen gas. Therefore, 0.4 moles of nitrogen gas requires 3 into 0.4 moles of hydrogen gas, that is equal to 1.2 mole hydrogen gas it requires. Originally 3 moles of hydrogen gas is taken in this closed vessel. So involved is 1.2 moles. 1.2 moles. Therefore, the number of moles of unreacted hydrogen is equal to 3 minus 1.2, that is equal to 1.8 mole. This is 1:3 ratio. For 1 mole, 3 moles hydrogen gas is required. For 0.4 mole nitrogen, it requires 1.2 mole of dihydrogen gas. But actually it is 3 moles. So at equilibrium, the number of moles of hydrogen gas remaining is equal to 3 minus 1.2, that is equal to 1.8 mole. Therefore, at equilibrium stage, total number of moles in this dynamic equilibrium process is equal to 0.6 plus 1.8 plus 0.8, that is equal to 3.2 moles. So in this problem, at equilibrium conditions, the number of moles of ammonia gas formed is 0.8 mole. From this relationship, 1:2 relationship, the number of moles of nitrogen and hydrogen remains is equal to 0.6 and 1.8 respectively. Therefore, total number of moles of all gases present in this closed vessel is equal to 3.2 moles. Now the next one is, what is the relationship between equilibrium constant in terms of concentration and change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions. That means if the system is at 1 bar pressure and 298 Kelvin temperature, now that system is at the standard conditions, that can be represented by circle with the hyphen. So the relationship between Kc and standard change in Gibbs free energy is the change in Gibbs free energy is equal to delta G at standard conditions plus RT ln QC. Delta G indicate change in Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy. It is also one of the energy system in thermodynamics. And delta G circle with hyphen indicate the change in Gibbs free energy. This mark indicate the system is at standard conditions. Now the change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions. That means the system is at 1 bar pressure and 298 Kelvin temperature. If the system is at dynamic equilibrium, if the system is at dynamic equilibrium, in this expression QC indicate reaction quotient. It is already known to you. If the system is at dynamic equilibrium, QC becomes Kc. That means equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, and change in Gibbs free energy becomes 0. Therefore this expression becomes at dynamic equilibrium 0 is equal to delta G at standard conditions plus RT natural logarithm of Kc. Therefore delta G naught, that means change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions is equal to minus RT ln Kc. So this is the relationship between Kc and change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions. This is also equal to minus 2.303 into RT log Kc. If you want to convert natural logarithm into log to the base 10, multiply with 2.303, so both are correct. So it is possible to calculate Kc value if you know the change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions, if you know the temperature of the system. Now it is possible to calculate Kc, or if you know temperature and Kc, it is possible to calculate the change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions. Now here, this one, the change in Gibbs free energy indicates the spontaneity or non-spontaneity of the reaction. If delta G at standard conditions is less than 0, if it is expressed in negative sign, now the Kc is greater than 1. That means forward reaction takes place. That is the meaning of spontaneous reaction. Spontaneous reaction means in that forward reaction, product's active mass is more. If delta G is greater than 0, if it is in positive sign, and Kc is less than 1, that one indicate opposite to spontaneous. That means that is an example of non-spontaneous reaction. Non-spontaneous reaction. That means the product's active mass is less. So change in Gibbs free energy also indicates the spontaneity and the non-spontaneity of the reaction. For any spontaneous reaction, delta G at standard conditions shows negative value. For non-spontaneous reactions, delta G at standard conditions shows positive value. So this is the relationship between equilibrium constant in terms of concentration and at standard conditions change in Gibbs free energy value. Now the first problem based on that relationship, that means in between Kc and change in standard Gibbs free energy is, in this problem, Kc is given at 300 Kelvin temperature and calculate the change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions. Now the formula is delta G is equal to minus RT ln Kc, or this is also equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc. Temperature is given, Kc is also given in this problem. So delta G is equal to minus 2.303 into R. This is energy term. Delta G indicate the change in Gibbs free energy. Generally energy is expressed in ergs, joules, kilojoules, calories, kilocalories, etc. So that's why substitute R value in CJS system or in MKS system. Suppose if you want to calculate the delta G in MKS system, substitute R value in joules. 8.314 joule mole inverse into Kelvin inverse, and temperature is also given 300 into Kc is equal to log Kc is equal to 2 into 10 power 13. 2 into 10 power 13. 2 into 10 power 13. This is nothing but 13 plus log 2. Log 2 is 0.3010. So this value is 13.3010. Therefore, the change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions is equal to minus 2.303 into 8.314 into 300 into 13.3010. So this is equal to minus 7.64 into 10 power 4 joules per mole. So the relationship between change in Gibbs free energy at standard conditions is equal to minus RT ln Kc. If you want to convert the natural logarithm into log to the base 10, multiply with 2.303. So the final answer is minus 7.64 into 10 power 4 joules per mole in this hydrolysis of the sucrose. Sucrose formula is C12H22O11. On the hydrolysis of the sucrose, it is decomposed into glucose and fructose. For these two, molecular formula is C6H12O6. So if you know the Kc value, it is possible to calculate change in Gibbs free energy from this relationship.